Well, guys, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but you need to wake up.
I'm already awake.
You got to wake up.
I'm already awake.
Go on.
Obviously, given there are infinite possibilities of universes out there and planets, it's obvious that aliens exist. And specifically, we have them.
Oh, shit.
We have them in our possession in Area 51. So yeah, as we know, there's a highly classified U.S. Air Force facility in the center. It's a center for research on aliens and UFOs, and the extraterrestrial technology is being reverse engineered there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've been there. Not inside, but
you wouldn't.
I've been to the front of Area 51.
Yeah, Joey, you know more about this than anyone. You've been to this place.
Yeah, they don't want us to know.
Yeah.
I lost a microphone head inside Area 51 after it blew off my camera and went under the rails, and I was like, I could go and get it, or I will get shot. So,
all right, what's your proof, Connor? What's your proof?
Yeah, what's your proof?
What's your proof?
How do we
Why
know?
do you think aliens would have visited
And why
us
here?
before?
Why they're kept in Area 51?
Well, it's a very, there's not much going on in Nevada.
Well, true.
So,
That is facts.
The real estate was very easy to come by.
Facts.
Yeah.
So I have many reasons why I believe this.
Go on.
Obviously we've all seen UFOs, right? We obviously.
Okay.
I mean, we've all watched the History Channel as well, the documentation.
Yes. Aliens.
You always hear about numerous reported sightings of UFOs in the vicinity of Area 51 that further increase my belief of the fact that they're clearly, that's a hanging out spot. That's where they go.
Yeah.
Why would all those people on TV lie about seeing aliens? Why is there so many documentaries about men and women who have seen
Maybe
aliens?
Because people
They all seem
like attention.
Very critical, like sane, critical thinkers that,
Right.
You see on television.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and obviously the government, who we don't trust,
It all comes back to the government, baby.
they would cover it all. They are covering up all the evidence of alien life and using Area 51 to cover it up.
Okay, why?
Why?
are they
Because we're not
covering
ready. We're not ready to know.
Oh, humanity hasn't
We
evolved
aren't
yet.
ready to know about aliens. And let's be real, we'd probably just try and kill them or something, or try and steal their alien goods and use them.
Yeah.
So the government is there in place, and specifically Area 51, to kind of have this place to be like, all right, let's figure out what's going on here. Let's study these aliens, because there's also notorious crashes that have happened that are unexplained. We don't know anything about.
Okay.
And where do they all go? Why are they hiding it from us?
Shit.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
And this site is clearly being used to reverse engineer this alien technology to recreate it for themselves, so that we can then expand into outer space ourselves and take.
Are they
over.
using it only to expand to outer space?
We don't really know what the malicious intent of the government is, but for some reason they don't want us to know why they have aliens here.
Right.
But we, I think the common belief is that aliens look like these kind of bulbous, weird ass things, and I think that's just wrong.
Yeah, the little gray guys. Right?
Yeah, I think that's maybe the ones in Mexico. Sure, that's but they're Mexican aliens. They're a bit different.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we know, all these very reputable people, they keep coming out who worked in the government, like, hey, we have aliens. Lots of interviews with people. I mean, my favorite source of information, the Joe Rogan podcast, had a ex-government employee who worked at Area 51 who attested that there was aliens at Area 51.
Oh, okay.
And we have these unexplained footages of these vehicles that move back and forth super fast in the sky that we can't explain why they move like that, because no object we know can move like that. So why is that?
Aren't they called like UAPs now instead of UFOs?
Yeah, UFOs.
Unexplainable aerial phenomenon.
They're trying to. It's a new branding thing. It's like Lexus to Toyota.
Yeah.
They're trying to distract us from the fact that it's just Toyota.
Yeah.
These are still UFOs, and they're trying to get like all the crazies off of it, but we're not crazies. We know what we're talking about. And there's, there's loads of whistleblowers that have come out saying this, and there's clearly this underground facilities that aren't visible to us under Area 51, because it's just a landing strip. Okay, like it's just an air base.
Yeah, of course.
There's too much room going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's got to be something underneath that they're hiding.
How busy
from us.
is that airport?
Right?
Really?
You have this big of a site just for airplanes to land? That doesn't seem right.
That's true.
So probably underneath there's a whole facility for aliens.
All right.
Hear me out.
Here's the big thing. Here's
Okay.
my big question.
Okay.
Why would you want to hide? Let's say aliens
We're not ready.
did visit the world. What do you mean we're not ready?
We're not ready.
What?
Maybe the technology is so advanced that we either don't have any kind of scientific understanding of it, or B, maybe it's a type of technology where if it does come out into the world, then let's say, America is the first one to like introduce it, right? What's going to stop or any other country, whether they be friend or foe of
France,
America,
okay.
to be like, hey, we can use that 12, but we can make it better to go one step above.
I
See,
think you-
that's
I
exactly
think you
what they
have
thought
to-
about the moon
I
landing
think
as
you
well.
have to look at the greater, the greater goals of the government, Khan. I feel like you're very short-minded here, and you're not thinking about what the government wants. The government, specifically the U.S. government, wants to control everything. They want to have the power, and if they get their hands on alien tech first, it's game over.
Sure.
What is, what the hell is any other country
Who
gonna
else
do?
is going to compete with that?
If they got teleporters, they got some
a
crazy
wrap.
beams, laser guns from COD. They finally get those in real life. It's game over.
They said crazy beans. I was
No,
like,
no,
what?
no.
Crazy
They might have
beans.
alien beans, you
Yeah.
know.
Very convenient that they landed in America.
Well,
out of,
they
out of every place in the world, they convenient chose like one of the biggest superpowers in the world, and just chose to crash land there. And
Maybe
not
the aliens
some-
are like, yo, this is what's up. There's a big open space.
Presumably, if they landed in another continent, America would have done their best to get a hold of it anyway. You know what I mean? They're pretty good at doing that. They're pretty good at taking things.
Sure.
And it just goes into, we see UFO spottings all over the world
Yeah.
that are unexplained.
Okay. Hold on. Let's put away the
Okay.
dash of irony away for just a second. Do you legitimately believe extraterrestrial life exists out there?
Yes.
They're in Area 51, Joey. I just told you.
Okay, because I 100% believe it. I just don't believe they've come to Earth yet.
That's what the U.S. government wants you to think, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have them.
It depends on like what level of alien life you believe. This is like Area 51, like I said, cool concept. Cool thought experiment about just like, your government just keeping secret technology and secret aliens that had visited 50 or so years ago. Convenient that they chose like kind of like this time period in the entire history of the Earth to come visit. A lot of things need to
Well, no, the aliens were around as well, like during, before, like this period as well.
Oh yeah, they helped build the pyramids.
Yeah,
as
who
well,
built
right?
the pyramids?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. That's,
Easter Island heads? How did they get there?
well, there's potentially other explanations, but I'm more concerned about the fact that I know the U.S. government has these little
I've
alien
been
boys.
to that restaurant, the Little Alien.
That looks awful.
Yeah, that's the one next to Area 51. I've been there.
Yeah.
It was a shithole. No aliens either.
I mean,
false advertising.
I'll be up and say that I believe if aliens did land, I think the government would just say it because they've already released the tapes of the UAPs or whatever they're called right nowadays.
Yeah, why did they announce that?
Yeah.
Why now?
Yeah. If
They've been hiding it for so long, why now are they suddenly like, we admit it, guys, they are here?
Yeah, that's a doozy. There's we don't know the thought
Did someone
process
fuck
behind.
up, or was that planned?
We don't know the process behind how the government.
The
makes
fact
its thoughts.
is that these videos just dropped and then everyone just kind of like no one really like talked about it or just like it didn't cause as big of a fuss as you'd think. A government dropping some videos being like, hey, we don't know what the fuck these are. We're not gonna say they're aliens, but we just don't know.
It's them saying, "Hey, aliens, we're not scared of you. We've got
We've
your
got the
tech.
technology.
We've
now.
got your tech now. You're done. You're done, kid. Don't come back. We'll tell people about it. Like we're not worried now. I think the Pentagon releasing videos, it's whatever. This is like, don't worry about it. They're just trying to distract us from the real thing of the aliens are at Area 51.
Right.
So it's okay because we still have Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith. They're both still alive.
They are alive, so we are
Independence Day is coming anytime, and we have our sequel weapons, guys.
Yep.
Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum.
They're there.
I am big a legend. Where they go head to head to see who can save the world.
I wish there was more. I'm done peddling this theory now. I wish there was more. Like to make this theory more exciting, I wish there was actually like any kind of circumstantial evidence that could be like, well, that's just a
Yeah, one of the biggest things about the
There's like
Area
nothing.
51,
Yeah, there's like nothing.
I just I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, people just start making shit up.
Here's the weird thing. I remember reading about this Roswell Area 51 story in like a book, in like a random book I got out of the library when I was like a kid. And I, like, for the longest time, I just believed it. Like,
Right.
genuinely, I thought, oh, aliens were in Area 51 because I read a book about it. And it wasn't till I was older that I realized, oh, this wasn't like any book based on any form of reality. This is just a really interesting story. you know,
Yeah.
that just got presented as kind of like this half fiction,
Yeah.
half kind of like.
Yeah, this is kind of an
documentary.
interesting one because, like, you know, there are conspiracy theories, like, say, like, you know, the flat Earth one, where, like, if you say that you believe in it, then immediately you'll get like a backlash from people being like, no, you're stupid. Why would you think that? But this Area 51 one is interesting because even if you say like, oh yeah, I think there are aliens in Area 51. There's almost like a lack of interest. It's just kind of like, yeah, I guess.
I think it's when you
whatever.
say that, everyone is kind of in more of a like a jovial sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I believe there's aliens there. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not like, I don't think, if someone was actually 100% going to you and like seemed super serious about it, I think you'd be like, what the fuck?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I think we don't know what other life is out there. I think this genuinely, like, we don't know. Like, the universe is so vast.
Yeah.
It probably will not take the shape that we've envisioned it will.
Yeah.
I think if there is life out there, it might not be as intelligent. It might be way more intelligent. We don't know. Odds are there's probably something somewhere in the universe.
I think what is weird is that the government. So you know, UFOs, UAPs do exist. There are unexplained
yeah.
phenomenon in this world, and do we want to just blame aliens, or do we just want
to blame aliens?
It's very, very convenient and very, very easy.
My favorite
to
theory
blame
about
aliens.
aliens that I've heard is that aliens have already visited us and have been visiting us for a long time. It's just that the aliens live on a different dimension to ours. So we can't perceive them.
So they're like
Fourth, fifth, sixth dimension aliens. You never know.
the average.
There could be one right here, but I would not be able to perceive it.
The average Rick and Morty fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an alien here, Morty.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think the big thing for me is just the concept of like what an alien life form would be and how alien life form would perceive us if they discovered us as a species, you know?
See, like, as a science fiction fan, I love thinking about this kind of shit because
Yeah.
it's like, it just opens the room for so many different stories you could tell, you know, and so many different,
Yeah.
like, cool, like, what if scenarios of,
Oh,
like,
they have,
okay,
right?
on the day that it happens, if it hasn't happened yet, how will we actually respond? What will they actually look like? How do they respond to us and we respond to them? Like, it's just a cool what if scenario to think about.
Yeah, I like this theory just because there is
It's fun. It's
It's-
a little more fun and chill than the other ones.
I think it's more fun, and I think honestly, out of everything, it's more believable as well. I
Yeah.
don't know. There is so much we do not understand.
What would you rate this one then?
Like a 5.
Oh, we're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, 5 or like strong 5, light 6.
Okay.
I'd say.
I go 7.
Wow.
I go
7.
You know,
Okay.
I'm saying 7 because this is the only theory that, you know, we've had, I guess, the closest thing to actual evidence that has been released by
A credible source.
a credible source.
Yeah.
You know, we've had maybe crazies, maybe not, but people that claim they've worked in the government that have said, hey, these things actually exist.
Yeah, my only problem with that is that a lot of these dudes and just doing fucking podcast circuits and
Yeah.
making money and doing appearances at conventions, and it's like, well, hold on now. I think
Yeah.
there's an ulterior motive here to why you're
Yeah.
a whistleblower and not just a guy who's like, hey, I'm retired, I can make a bit of extra cash and travel around if
Yeah.
I just talk mad shit.
Okay, but to play devil's advocate,
Okay.
let's say you do know that they exist.
Yeah.
How do you go about proving it?
I mean, the ultimate problem is that you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You really
exactly.
can't. You know, we've even seen it nowadays. You know, like even if you had pictures or videos,
You're automatically a whistleblower.
people would just assume that they're fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
'cause,
you
I
have
mean,
an ulterior motive. You know?
Yeah, it would be very, very hard to. It's.
Yeah.
I think in a
Unfortunately,
in our day and age,
the like given someone in that position, the only way
kinda fucked.
you'll get your message out is by going on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? That's probably the best hope you can go for.
So tell me about how the aliens like
Nobody's
theories.
believing me, but Joe will.
I know Joe's got an
Joe's
audience.
got my back.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the biggest thing is just this idea that, you know, think about our technology, right? And think about how long we've lasted. We, as like an intelligent species in the entire history of the Earth, have lasted a microscopic level amount, right?
Yeah.
And we are, number one, we are very kind of like confident that we're just not going to wipe ourselves out. You know, that's like thinking about how long we've lasted compared to
The most optimistic of our kind, definitely, yes.
compared to the fucking dinosaurs. I can't even conceptualize existing for that amount of time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one comet just goes, whoop, you're gone now.
Yeah.
You're absolutely gone.
Yeah.
There are so many, I believe there's alien life out there, but there are so many different walls a society and a species have to pass through to get to the point.
One of them being the ice wall, obviously.
One of
they
them
have to
being the
pass
ice wall.
through, yeah.
One of them being dealing with how do you deal with flat earthers?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And with the way that technology is evolving, okay, this is going into something completely different topic. with how technology is evolving right now, right?
Okay.
Do you genuinely believe that humans as a species or as a society would rather venture out into space, or would they just create a supercomputer and just put their consciousness into a supercomputer? Which one do you think is more likely?
Well, so are you asking if everything is a simulation more likely, or is as a civilization we'd expand and explore the
Yeah.
universe more likely?
I think
Would like if with the way humanity is going, with the direction that our species is going, do you think it's more likely that we would want to, if there would be more interest in exploring the universe, or creating a kind of like a digital universe in which we can
I think
ourselves?
the answer to that, in my opinion, is that the more likely scenario is the supercomputer one, but the more correct answer is the venturing out into space.
That's the thing. The more like correct answer is, yeah, let's be explorers. Let's go into space. Let's ensure like
The survival of the human
survival
race,
of the
yeah.
human race. I know the average fucking human. They'd be like, just give me the fucking Matrix, man.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I mean, we already play like fucking World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so, I
exactly,
mean,
exactly, right?
Put me
Like-
in a simulation, you
I
know?
also think the exploring outer space is right now is not profitable, and until it becomes profitable, or there's like countries have reasons to care about trying to take over planets or anything like that,
Yeah.
we won't see a giant push for exploring space.
I think there
'Cause-
will be a huge profitability to it.
Yeah, but like right now, most laws, although not every country signed up to it, are space is the property of mankind, and no one country should own like the moon or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, I think that stuff like that.
Hey, you never
we'll
know. We
probably
might
have-
get to the point where like every country has the necessary funds and the technology and the science to just like kind of start going out there, looking for stuff, and then that galactic mortgage game gonna be tight. It's
Yeah.
gonna get to the point where it's like, all right, well,
But the
Denmark wants to buy EO for some reason, but that's currently owned by America right now. So what are we gonna do
Yeah,
there?
and like, it's gonna sound super weird, but the survival of humanity is not a big enough motivation for humans to explore space. The people need to care about things on like a personal level before we have a collective interest into doing something like
we're
this.
fucked when humanity had more of an interest in NFTs
Right?
Well,
before that shit.
I think the problem is with space exploration is that it is a decades long commitment to even get anything done.
Yeah.
We saw the James Hubble
James Webb Telescope.
James Webb telescope that was like
Yeah.
a huge undertaking, very expensive. But for like countries to get involved, I mean, we can't even look like 4 years ahead. We have to like worry about the next election, right? So like the way the system is currently set up, people only care about what's happening right now.
I think also
So
a
they don't
lot
care
of
about
people
that.
I think they just genuinely believe that it's not going to happen in their lifetime anyway.
They don't care. People don't
Right.
care about shit that's not going to happen to them.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm not going to
Yeah.
experience it, then why should I care about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Because that's why I feel like a
lot
lot
of
of the
problems.
generation right now, they just don't care about space exploration. Like a lot of people just don't.
Yeah,
they're
we have
like,
bigger
they're like,
problems to worry about.
yeah,
on
they're like,
Earth.
they're like, we shouldn't be spending money on trying to send rockets up when I
the
can't
Earth
even.
is cooking alive.
I can't
right now.
I can't even buy a fucking apartment, or I can't even rent an apartment to live in. So why
Yeah.
the fuck is the government sending $2 billion a year to send fucking rocks into space?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
But
unfortunate.
there's a lot of short-sightedness there as well, I
Yeah.
think. So it's a very nuanced problem. Either way, I need to go and take a shit. So
All right.